How are you doing, guys? Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone's blessed. I hope you're having a great time out there. Right, guys, following yesterday's video, there's been a lot of demand now for me and my content there into politics and what I think about some certain situations regarding immigration, regarding the likes of Tommy Robinson, regarding the likes of Israel, Palestine, and basically flaws in our criminal system and what have you. So I thought I'd brush up on a bit of this today with Israel and Palestine, to be honest with you. Now, guys, a lot of people, because I might speak a little bit slow and what have you, people think I'm stupid, and I've said this a million times. I'm not. If anyone here who's watching these videos, who's been at school with me, knows I was in all the highest sets at school. I'm a very smart lad. I'm very fluent in a lot of things, and I used to get top grades in everything I did. I've got loads of qualifications. It was just my behavioural problems that let me down, as I was a young lad suffering from ADHD. I was a bit of a problem child. What let myself down, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But if anyone will tell you, they'll tell you Brett is very, very smart. You know what I mean? And that's not me being arrogant and blowing my own trumpet. I'm telling you now, don't ever insult my intelligence, because the day you do, it'll be flawless for you. You know what I mean? I'm very smart. Now listen, regarding the war in Israel and Palestine, yeah. Now we're talking something what's going back to the beginning of the Bible days. Before Palestine were called Palestine, were called Philistine. When obviously the Jews were called Hebrews then, was at war with Palestine. You've seen the book of Judges, Samson and Delilah, all that, and carry on. Now this has been a rivalry, the longest probably hateful rivalry in years, more than any other war going. It's the most oldest and ancientest war what's ever carried on over the land. Now, in recent history, obviously there's been a lot of deaths and what have you, as you're well aware, and loads of wars with Palestine and Israel. Now, I know everyone's asking for the two-state solution. Obviously you've got the West Bank, and then obviously you've got the Gaza Strip. Yeah, and then obviously you've got some part of Bethlehem what's still stuck in some places in the West Bank, what's still integrated. It's been a long rivalry there, as a lot of people I knew from school who turned into become vicars and priests and what have you. They travel frequently to Jerusalem and obviously to Bethlehem. Obviously it's a dangerous place, especially at the minute, but it always really has, because you always have rogue wolf sections what attack Jewish side of attack Jews, but then you have the Jewish settlers that do the same to the Palestinians. But it was still kind of left on a balance. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been odd deaths here, there and everywhere, but there's been nothing like what went off at the terrorist attack from Hamas, what happened at the festival in Israel, which is obviously absolutely disgusting. So you had loads of kids, women, children, and it shows you them paragliding over the walls, over the fences, landing into the festival. They were raped, murdered, butchered, killed people in their own homes, old people, babies decapitated. They didn't discriminate. I mean, it was just a pure slaughter. Now, we've all seen the videos where the hostages got taken, where the girls crying and again chucked on back of motorbikes, even old women chucked in back at cars, and these people are laughing while they're doing it. Now, these people are complete savages, complete scum and evil people to take it out on innocent people like that. And I'm putting it out there now because that's exactly what they are, just pure scum. There is no other words for them. But yet Palestine voted Hamas into ruling their country. Yeah, it was done by their political vote. Some could argue and say, oh well, they must have been scared to vote them in or what have you. Then yeah, maybe so. But what's United Nations doing? United Nations have got multiple schools and multiple places there in Palestine. Why didn't they intervene if it was such a radical terrorist organisation taking over Palestine? Ask yourself that one. Now, after the festival attack, yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu, who's a controversial leader for obviously Israel, he struck them with such force. Yeah, not just the Middle East, the world felt it. Yeah, and he's done exactly what he said. He said, I won't stop till I eradicate every soldier of Hamas, every follower of Hamas, and all the leadership of Hamas. Now, I know obviously the Hamas leaders, well, especially the main leader, is not even in Gaza Strip himself, as he was having talks in Cairo to try and remedy the situation, and with the Saudi Arab Emirates to see what they can discuss. And obviously some negotiating parties was reached for them to start releasing hostages. Obviously they had to release prisoners and release hostages and what have you. Now, just like ISIS, I would say Hamas is a radical terrorist organisation, and obviously to beat that, you don't just have to beat the people, you have to beat the ideology behind it. So with all these bombings and that's going off, which obviously I totally condemn any civilian life on either side getting killed, man, woman and child. That's for Palestinian and for Israel. But in war, you know what I mean, things happen. Like World War I, World War II, there's always a price. There's always collateral damage. There's always unnecessary deaths. Otherwise it wouldn't be called the word war. I mean, which is totally tragic when you see kids dead and what have you, there, which I totally agree, especially in this day and age. In 2024, there shouldn't be no more wars now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Look from the beginning of history, from the Romans, from Vikings. Come on. You know what I mean? All this should all been out the system now. Everyone should be allowed to live in peace and live their own life and do what they've got to do. Yeah, and be who they want to be. As long as you're not breaking no laws or murdering people, and yeah, then everyone should just live in peace. It's as simple as that. But obviously things happen, and now when Hamas did that, pushed Benjamin Netanyahu over the edge, and the loss of Palestinian life has been totally greater than the loss of Jewish life. But now it's going to come to a point, everything has to come to an end, as you agree. So, me personally there, once Hamas is eradicated from the West Bank, from Gaza itself, and the leadership is destroyed, then obviously it's up to Israel to still run the security side of things, just in case no other terrorists pop up at the time being, or any sleeper cells, and then give the land back to the people. You know what I mean? Let them vote in who they want to vote in, as long as it's not a terrorist organisation, and everyone live in peace. Problem solved. And I tell you one man now who gets slagged off recently, yeah, who everyone hates, and a very controversial figure, probably the most controversial figure of this year and last year. That's Donald Trump. I'm telling you now, Donald Trump had sorted this mess straight out, like that. I mean, in seconds. Say what they want, he'd go straight over there, he'd have all this dealt with, done, dusted, sweet. But who's to blame for this war? The old question. Hamas is to blame for this war, for killing innocent children and raping children and killing everyone indiscriminately. So Israel has had a right to defend itself, and it's defended itself, and it's very, very strongly, and it sent a very massive, strong statement. But sooner the better, this war to come to an end, so there's no more loss of children and innocent lives, and everyone live in peace. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I thought I'd give a bit of content there, guys, on new things and politics around the world. A lot of people in the comments said, Brett, be careful when you're talking about kind of stuff like this. You know, it can you can get a lot of snowflakes what can report your channel, and you can and British media and politicians don't like it, and they try and silence you. Well, I wasn't born to be silenced. I'll say what's ever on my mind, and I think what's right. So yeah, God bless Israel, and God bless all the civilian life in Palestine as well. who don't deserve to die. But Hamas should be eradicated. Yeah, goodbye. That's what I've got to say. That's my approach on it. So yeah, up Israel and up Donald Trump as well. That'll be another video for another day. God bless you guys. Thought I'd give you a bit of different content there. Take care.